This has way more feedback than probably any other Q&A I've done on my page, which is problems that models have with photographers. I got so many messages from this, it's crazy. A lot of them the same thing, which a lot of you can probably guess what it is. But yeah, let's just get into it. Photographers getting mad if you give them your rates. You gotta get over it. If you're gonna be a model, if you're gonna be in the art industry, if you're gonna be a freelance artist, you have got to have a stronger backbone. You have to be able to be rejected. You have to be able to handle people being mean to you. Should people be mean to you for no reason? No, but it's part of the industry and you have to deal with it. People are gonna be rude. People are gonna tell you you're overpriced. People are gonna tell you that you should be shooting for free. People are gonna tell you, well, you didn't look that beautiful anyway. They're gonna say all kinds of things to try to bring you down. It doesn't matter. They're being hateful for no reason. So if you feed into that, if you allow it to affect you, then it's gonna make you wanna quit. So you really just have to completely ignore it when people leave you on red or send something nasty back. When they asked to shoot with you and you sent them your rates, you're allowed to send people your rates. You're providing a service. You should be charging for it. Don't feel bad for that at all. Let's see. Photographers making inappropriate comments while booking you. If they're making a lot of inappropriate comments that are legitimately making you feel uncomfortable, tell them you want to cancel it because you shouldn't book with them. But really, if some people, they just don't know that they're being inappropriate, if it's kind of like questionable, I call people out in the moment. If they say something that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'll say, that made me feel uncomfortable, could you not say that? Or could you help me understand why you would say that? Because sometimes they're just trying to compliment you and it comes out in the wrong way, or they didn't even mean it the way that you took it because it is text, it's Instagram. Some people aren't even from this region, this culture, so they talk in a very different way, and you can't know that if you haven't met them yet, right? So give people benefit of the doubt at first. If they're being clearly objectifying or sexualizing in some weird way, then just don't work with them. Don't book them. It's not worth it, honestly. It's just not. Next. Okay, so obviously this is like the biggest and the worst one, which is being sexualized or objectified before, during, or after to the shoot. Like people making inappropriate comments, that's like low level, but being clearly sexualized or objectified before, during, or after the shoot. If it's before, you should cancel the shoot. Don't shoot with them. If it's during the shoot, tell them they're making you feel uncomfortable and to stop. If they don't stop, or if they did something that really crossed a boundary, leave immediately. Excuse yourself. If they paid you, keep the money. Like, that wasn't part of the working agreement that you get to sexualize or objectify me. Models need to protect yourselves. You should have a working agreement too. You should have a working agreement that you should be respected, that you should be given clear communication and expectations. Put a line in the working agreement saying specifically, you cannot sexualize or objectify me. Put that in your working agreement. That's fair. A lot of people do it. Any decent human being would be more than happy to sign that working agreement. Anybody who wouldn't want to sign that, you do not want to be working with them anyway. So yeah, don't even sweat that. If you are ever sexualized or objectified during or after a shoot, or before, at any point in time, I'm sorry. If you need support, if you want to talk about it, if you want to vent about it, if you want to do more action about it, message me. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out what we can do. I'm tired of the system being the way it is. I'm tired of sexualization and objectifying men and women in the model industry as being normalized. There's straight up sexual abuse in the model industry, especially in New York and LA. That's really heavy and prevalent, and like, it's glorified almost when you're deep in it. Like, it's truly glorified. It's disturbing. So that's something that really needs to change. So If you've experienced it, if you want to talk about it, you want to make action towards it, message me. Let's make a plan. Let's do something. Next. Ooh, this one's frustrating. Shooting in several looks, but only getting edits back from some. I can't tell you how frustrating it is as a model to put several looks together and to only get back edits from some of them. It takes so much time and effort to put looks together. You guys don't realize, and a lot of photographers don't help with that part. So it's like, if I'm getting changed 3 times, we've been shooting for hours, it's hot out, I'm tired, I'm giving you my effort and my energy, and you send me edits from 2 of the looks and not 3, that third one is just like, it's nowhere to be found or seen ever in the existence of the internet. It's like, why did I put that energy and effort towards that third look? Why did you ask me for 3 looks if you were only going to edit 2? It's disrespectful to the model. If you absolutely hate every single picture that was taken in that look, you should just straight up tell them that, and then maybe give them the opportunity to look at some and find like 1 or 2 pictures that you can edit for them from each look. That's more than fair. Also, models, that should be something that's in your model contract, is I get at least 1 edit per look or 2 edits per look, whatever your agreement is. And on your expectation checklist, each shoot should have its own expectation checklist. How many edits am I getting per look from this photographer for this shoot at this date, at this time, at this location? Have everything laid out, clear expectations so that nobody can fault anybody for anything. Sorry, Tony, I'll try to be better. Boom, ba-dum, boom. Okay, so this one says, not getting edits back at all. There's been times where photographers have just completely ghosted me. They unfollowed me, they blocked me. They blocked my phone number. Like, I cannot get in contact with them. I can't email them. And they completely ghost me from the entire existence of the universe just because they don't want to give me their edits after I gave them my time. If a photographer is paying you for the shoot, I think it's fair for them to not have to send you edits if that's in your guys' particular working agreement. But if you have laid out in your working agreement that you expect edits back from that shoot per look, then you should be getting that back. Whatever you guys agree to, there should be a working agreement. I know we're freelancers and we're contractors and like we're artists and it's like, it's whatever, but we should be handling ourselves more professionally than we do. Especially in the Tampa area, I feel like there's a lack of professionalism within the industry. And it just makes it difficult. It makes it difficult for models to feel secure and safe doing our jobs, which is frustrating. You want to feel safe doing your job because we like doing it. It should be fun and enjoyable. We shouldn't have to worry about our safety all the time. Or if we're going to get completely screwed over and never see a picture out of what we just did and put a bunch of energy towards. Photographers being condescending when reaching out to you. I have personally had a big problem with this. Like, this one is really bad. Photographers will DM you in a way that's like, you need my work. You should shoot with me for free. You need me. You need my editing style. The stuff on your page right now, it's not very good. But my stuff is good. So you should let me take your stuff because you need me. No. We don't need you. We really don't need you. There are a lot of modeling accounts. There are models who've been discovered by huge agents and brands all over the world from taking selfies in their bedroom and nothing but iPhone photos. So please don't think for a second that models need you as a photographer. We want to work with you. We want to expand our portfolio. We want to connect with different artists. We like gaining that experience, but we don't need you. So please come at us right with that, because we need each other for certain experiences, but we don't need photographers to get noticed or get to our end goal per se. So just come at models with a little more respect with that, and don't assume certain things. Let's see. So a lot of these are just repeats. Like somebody had sent me that a photographer had brought a really short dress that they didn't say anything about prior to the shoot. They just showed up with it and expected them to shoot in it, and the dress was so short that like it barely covered them. So it was like, obviously they didn't feel comfortable shooting in it, and they decided not to. And the photographer made them feel bad for that. That goes back to the other thing though of photographers should be sending you what, if they're gonna bring something for you to wear, they should send it to you beforehand, and you should agree to it. If you don't agree to it, you're not wearing it. No obligations, no big deal, it's fine. But yeah, it's a shame that so many people, so many models reached out to me with personal, detailed stories. They had handfuls of them. Like each girl had lots of experiences of being sexualized and objectified and disrespected. I have plenty of stories. It's frustrating. It sucks. But that's why we have to speak up more as models. And like if we don't tolerate that behavior from photographers, they'll stop, because they keep doing it because they can always find another model that'll shoot with them that does tolerate it. So if none of us tolerate it, it'll go away. We just have to keep speaking up for ourselves. Let's see. Uncomfortable situations in general. So this one girl reached out to me, and she didn't know how to handle uncomfortable situations. So if somebody says something or does something or looks at you in a certain way, like if a photographer keeps checking you out or looking at a particular body part and you just feel uncomfortable or weird about it, call them out, say something, use your voice, speak up, practice it. I used to be somebody that was so inside myself, so in my shell, so in my head. I had a really hard time saying no. I had a hard time saying, don't do that, stop. I was very much in victim mode. Thankfully, I've snapped out of that. But I will practice sometimes, and I used to have to do it a lot more, but you can legitimately practice these things as exercises with yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eyes and say something along the lines of, please don't do that, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Please don't say that, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Like whatever it is that you need to say, practice saying it. Practice using your voice. So that way when the time comes up, you don't even think about it. You just say it. You're protecting yourself. You're defending yourself. Nobody should be making you feel uncomfortable. And if they make you feel bad for speaking up for yourself, leave the situation. Excuse yourself. You don't have to cause a scene. You don't have to explain anything. You just say, I don't feel uncomfortable in this situation right now. I'm going to excuse myself. We can talk another time, thank you, and leave. Like, that's it. You don't have to argue with them. You don't have to explain your side. You don't have to tell them how wrong they are, that they're being hurtful or disrespectful. It's not worth the argument. Just leave. Get better at directing people and helping them get to the angle that you want with different body parts. Practice with your friends, practice with your parents, practice with your roommates, practice with your significant other. Like have them randomly get into a pose, direct them into it, make it a challenge, make it fun. It can be really fun, but if you don't practice it, if you don't put the energy and effort into your craft, it's gonna be frustrating and challenging. If you make it fun and practice these things, it's gonna be rewarding and you'll make a lot better art out of it, and it won't be such a struggle when you're at bigger shoots to get more of the shots you want. Okay. Assumption that I have all day to shoot, that I should drop everything at the opportunity to shoot. Again, expectation checklist. This is from somebody in Las Vegas. I remember the model that sent this to me. And Las Vegas definitely has a worse culture of the models should be grateful that a photographer even messaged you to shoot for free. And that is not at all the case. Like, we have so many photographers messaging us for free shoots. We don't need to be shooting with anybody for free. We probably have a full portfolio already. If we're shooting with you for free, it's because we want to, not because we need to. But again, that goes, if you have an expectation checklist, okay, you have me for 2 hours this day at this time, at this location. We're not going to leave this location. I have to work at this time. So the other expectations are no pool, no like doing this, like no parks where I'm supposed to like lay down in the dirt and get dirty. Like, have certain expectations. It's fine. It's totally fair and fine, especially if it's a TFP shoot. TFP stands for time for photos or trade for photos. It's basically just saying we're shooting for free. You're giving me your time and I'm giving you your photos, is basically what it's saying. I had a photographer never send me back photos because when I asked when I would get them, he told me I was annoying and impatient. Yikes. I have had so many, I will say that I've had a couple of models be disrespectful to me as a photographer, but I have had boatloads of men be disrespectful to me as a model. And it's very frustrating because the degree of disrespect is much deeper too, on top of that. So it's tough being disrespected like that. But yeah, if you tell a model that she's gonna get back her photos in 2 weeks and it's 3 weeks later and she's messaging you and she's like kind of upset, you can't be mad that she doesn't have her photos yet when you promised you'd give them to her by now. And then you can't threaten and be like, you know what, you're annoying me, you're not getting your photos anymore. That's not how that works. You don't get to do that. But again, you should have a contract agreement. If they signed a contract, you can take them to court over that for them to give you your photos. If you really want to go that route and show people that you're not messing around, that you're serious, you can do that. But have a contract. Have every single person you ever work with use that contract. I don't like how you do a collab with the photographer and they don't send you photos. If they do, they just ask. Okay, so basically like a photographer, you do a free shoot with a photographer, a collaboration, and then they don't even send you the edits, but they start posting them. They don't ask you if those photos are good. Like, it might be a really bad photo of you or something that's not flattering, an image that you don't like for your reputation. That should be in your contract as well. I'm going to give you guys a template for this contract, so there should be no excuses after this. There should be something stating, though, that there should be no pictures that would, in your perception, harm your reputation. So if there's an image that they post that to you would harm your reputation, then they should have to take that down if you don't like it. But yeah, that happens sometimes where photographers will just start posting edits they never even sent you. And then it's like unflattering photos that are like weird in-between shots of you posing where you're like, that's not what I thought you were taking photos of. It makes you feel violated as a model. It really does. It makes you feel like there's no safety, like there's no trust. Makes you question like other photographers that you go to work with. It's a very frustrating feeling. So please, photographers, don't do that. Don't take those candid shots when models like are in between looks, like either trying to re-accessorize and those types of things. It makes us feel really uncomfortable. That's like, we have to get into model mode. Like, our body is not an all access thing because you hired us as a model. That's not how it works. So yeah, but I'm gonna make a contract with a working agreement, an expectation checklist on it. I'm gonna send it out when I release this video at the same time. So that way you guys have no excuses for like every single problem on this video. If anybody at that point is either breaches the contract or is sexualizing or objectifying or disrespectful in the way they communicate with you, then it's just up to you to just not work with that person. And there's always going to be people in the world that are difficult to work with, that are disrespectful and rude. It's just what it is. You have to have a strong backbone in this industry. Like, you're going to be rejected. People are going to be rude. People are going to be nasty. They'll try to put you down so that they can have a better chance at like a certain casting that you guys are both auditioning for. It's crazy. But if this is what you love, if this is what you want to do, you have to fight for it. And you have to practice and train just like anything else. There's exercises. I'm a model coach. I'm a life coach. I've been doing photography as a hobby since I was 8 years old. So if you want exercises for certain things, I'm your person. Reach out to me, whether it's personal, mental health, for photography, for modeling, facial expression exercises, posing exercises, whatever you need. You want to do a mock casting call with me? we'll do it. I'm really here to support you guys. I'm so grateful to have 813 Empire as the platform to be speaking with, and to just support everybody in the community and watch everybody grow and be so connected to everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Hope it was helpful. And I hope you guys appreciate and use this damn contract because it's going to be helpful.